Guys, so before I get started on the topic of the day, I just have to say to the people in TikTok, it's been a crazy week, as we know that Charlie Kirk has passed. Well, not passed, he got assassinated, excuse me. Irina, the young Ukrainian woman got stabbed in the neck in South North Carolina, and what happened with Trey Reed as well. We have to have humanity, okay? We have to have compassion. And for people to say on TikTok, well, you should just get past Charlie Kirk. He's not really that important because he's dead. We need to focus on Trey Reed. All lives matter, okay? All life matters. We should talk about every incident that happened in our country, okay? Charlie Kirk lives matter. Trade Reed life matter. Irena Zuzikiga, hopefully I'm saying her last name correctly, and if I mispronounce, pardon me, her life matter too. All lives matter. So it's just really sad that people are just saying, well, let's dismiss Charlie Kirk because he's dead. Well, Trey Reed is dead as well, okay? So let's just have some compassion and love for one another, especially the family members are grieving that they lost their loved ones. Let's think about that. You know what I mean? Before you say anything on social media, just look at yourself in the mirror before you say anything crazy, outrageous things, and just have compassion and just pray because all lives matter. And yes, I agree that mainstream media should cover it all. And the main big focus is Charlie Kirk. And all mainstream media should be covering things that happen, especially a young man, which I'm about to talk about, a 21-year-old Trey Reed, that apparently the Deltastate University discovered that his body was hanging from a tree. And it saddens me that happened, especially outside of campus, that one of the staff members had to see this. The parents deserve and demand answers what happened to their son because, according to reports, they're saying that they're ruling out no foul play. There was no foul play involved. There was no suspects. And I'm thinking that seems a little funny to me that no foul play. Did this rule it out immediately without them doing their investigation? So that to me, that's a little suspect, and something doesn't seem right with this whole case. So I'm going to read to you report what they said. So the family does not know exactly what happened on September 15 of 2025. She said, which they hire an attorney, and the attorney is Vanessa Jones. We are seeking, answers from Delta State University, and Delta State University is in Mississippi. Now, I don't know the whole background of Mississippi, but what I was told that lynching is a thing over there, and it's been a thing for a very, very, very long time. And we are seeking answers from the coroner office. Delta State University staff discovered Reed body hanging from the tree at 7:05 a.m. on September 15 in the middle of the campus, where the 21-year-old had just begun attending college. Hours after his discovery, Delta State University Police Chief Mike Pillar said in a press conference that no foul play. Now, how can you determine that already? The staff just discover his body, and you just go to look at his body and say, okay, no foul play. Not doing your investigation. That doesn't make any sense to me. Currently suspect. The same day, two officials from the Brevard County Coroner's Office said Trey Reed had no other visible injuries that would indicate any attack prior to his hanging. Now, check this out, you guys. The media knew this incident before the family did. Isn't that crazy? You would think that the staff or the people who what to call it in the campus, the dean or whoever is in charge of the university will call the parents immediately and say, your son just passed. But the family had to hear it from the media before them. And the media knew this. And it's just crazy. So Vanessa Jones, the attorney, criticized Deltastate University and Brevard County officials, telling the Mississippi Free Press that both had left Reed's family completely in the dark after discovery of Trey Reed's body, failing to properly communicate with them in their darkest moments. I agree. Like, how can you not tell the family? Why the media had to get the story first? That makes no sense. That's a little suspect to me. You would think if a grown man or any student would pass away, that they would immediately call the parents, but they didn't do that. Let's continue on. The media, the lawyer said, knew about Trey's death before the family did. One of the reasons the urgency of this press conference, Jones continued, because the family is getting all their information secondhand through the news. Isn't that crazy? They're not getting answers from the Deltastate University. Why is that? Why are they getting all the press and stuff like to the media? That makes no sense to me. That is a red flag. A confusing incident occurred that morning of Trey's death, she said. Now, it's saying that Sheriff Department arrived at Trey's family home at approximately 9:15 a.m. So they found the body at 7:05 a.m. And you trying to tell me that the sheriff arrived at the parents' house, the Reed's house, at 9:15 a.m.? Like, this is crazy. I will be livid. I will be pissed off that my son or daughter was dead and I didn't get immediately a phone call. Like, I didn't get a phone call right away. Informed the family that Trey was found dead in his dorm in his bed, she said. So they lied. They told the family that their son was dead in his dorm, and actually he was hung on a tree in the middle of the campus. While people are walking in the middle of the campus, they saw that dead body. Why lie? Why lie to the parents and say that their son died in a dorm when that was actually a lie? Again, another red flag. Not long after, the family would learn that Trey had died in the center of the campus hanging from a tree. The family needs clarity on that moment leading up to Trey's death, Jones said. If this young man was on the campus of Deltastate University with all these cameras and all this modern technology, from the moment he left his dorm room or entered the campus, there should be surveillance. She's right. I'm sorry. There's cameras everywhere in campuses, okay? Everywhere. You cannot tell me there's none, okay? You're full of shit. You cannot tell me there's no cameras around. Where is this footage? There should be surveillance of him leaving his dorm and walking in the middle of the campus. Why they're not presenting that? But they're saying there's no foul play. Continue on, and what Jones, the attorney, is saying. Of all this action, Jones said, that's what we want. Bring the surveillance, bring the cameras, so that we know exactly what happened. That's fair. I think the parents deserve that. I think the parents deserve some answers and some clarity and some transparency. Do you think that? Do you think so? I think so, right? Jones did not allege that Reed's death has been violent, but demands full and independent investigation. Full investigation, excuse me. We are not here to point fingers yet, but we will have answers. The possibility of the constitutional violation of the recent releasing Trey's name to the media immediately after it happened, we will get to that. But for now, the family is asking for answers, and rightfully so. Now, civil rights attorney Ben Crump is also joining with the family, so he's joining the case as well, along with Vanessa Jones. And she did this press conference at the Living Miracle Temple Church of God in Christ Center. And Crump is on the case as well. And Crump stated in his thing that Trey Reed was a young man full of promise and warmth, deeply loved and respected by all who knew him. Crump wrote in a media statement on Tuesday afternoon, his family and his campus community deserve full independent investigation to uncover the truth about what happened. We cannot accept Virgo conclusions when so many questions remain. I stand with this family and I will lead a team of civil rights leaders and organizations in pursuing transparency and answers for Trey's family. That I agree with. Their family deserve transparency and they deserve the truth. I believe it's a cover up. That's just my opinion. I don't understand why the sheriff have to lie to the parents saying that their son died in a dorm when he actually died in the middle of the campus. I don't know why they didn't told the parents that sooner when they I'm not parents, pardon me, when Trey Reed passed. I don't know why they're saying there's no foul play. They already made the determination and then that's it. So apparently the family is demanding an autopsy, okay? Because apparently there is things circulating that Trey had broken legs, broken this, but they're saying that there was no injuries in his body. So basically, the parents want a second opinion, and they should, and they deserve that. And this should be talked about. This should be on mainstream media because it's super important. The family deserve answers and transparency and truth, and they need to get to the bottom of the truth and no cover-ups. I seem like there's a lot of cover-ups because there's a lot of holes and a lot of red flags in this, and none of it makes sense to me. And this is Trey Reed, 21 years old, male. He had his whole life ahead of him, and he died. And the thing is, if it was a suicide, which they didn't mention a suicide, you would think that he would just kill himself in his dorm room. Why, get a rope and hang yourself in the middle of the campus in a tree? You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense to me. And again, I just don't understand how the Deltastate University or the sheriff can just say there's no foul play. You haven't done your full investigation. You haven't done anything. And you just rule out no foul play. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, do your job because the parents deserve that. Okay, I feel, and this is just my opinion, there's more to it, and they're not saying, they're not telling. I think that this is a big cover up. And I was listening to this one guy, Justin Shepard, on TikTok, and what his input was on this about Trey Reed, and take a listen to what he has to say.
Tree in Mississippi, and something really doesn't add up about this entire story. Early morning Monday, 21-year-old Trey Reed was found hanging from a tree right in the middle of Deltastate University's campus in Cleveland, Mississippi. His body was discovered around 7 a.m. near the pickleball courts. Now, University Police Chief Mike Peeler confirmed the discovery and said that foul play is not suspected. The Mississippi Bureau of Investigation is involved, and Trey's body was released to the coroner for an autopsy. But here's the problem. Almost immediately, family and friends started saying something very different, that Trey's arms and a leg were broken. The coroner pushed back, saying that he didn't see broken bones in his exam, which leaves us with two very different stories, the official version and the one people closest to Trey believe. Now, Deltastate shut down classes and canceled.
So let me pause there. So how do the friends know, and this is just a question, how do their friends know that his bones were broken? Because like Justin said, there's two different stories. The coroners are saying there was no bones broken, there was no injuries on his body, and friends or family saying that his legs were broken. So how did the friends know that his body was broken? Were they there? Were they present when the body was found? I don't know. So again, a lot of unanswered questions, which the parents deserve and family members deserve this. And none of it is adding up or making sense to me.
Though no lockdown was issued. Officials said there was no ongoing threat, but let's be real. A black man found hanging from a tree in Mississippi will never feel straightforward. Correct. History matters here. Generations of lynchings and cover-ups mean people are skeptical, and honestly, can you blame them? And I don't give my personal opinion a lot on these types of things, but personally speaking, I don't think that a black kid would take his own life in a way that looks like a lynching. That's why this case is raising so many questions. So let me ask you, what do you guys think? Do you trust the official line that no foul play was involved, or is there more to Trey Reed's story than we're being told? make sure you follow this page because I'll keep bringing you updates as they come in, and there's going to be a lot more about this.
Okay. So I agree with him. There's more to it, to this story. And yes, Mississippi has I would say a rap sheet of lynching. And my thing is, how, again, something doesn't seem right. How a 21-year-old can go up to a tree and hang himself. You know what I mean? Like, to me, it would be clearly impossible to do unless you climb up in a tree, take a rope, tie it, and then do your thing. I don't know. To me, it doesn't seem right. I feel like there's more to it than that. Maybe he had an altercation with someone. Maybe someone didn't like him. I will question everyone. Okay, that's what I would do if I was a detective, which I'm not. If I were doing this investigation, I will question everything. I will question his last move, every movement. I'd be looking at footages, surveillance, everything. Because again, there's cameras everywhere in that campus, and I just don't understand how the sheriff can make that quick determination there's no foul play. How do you know that without even doing your investigations thoroughly? Like, it doesn't make any sense. You're just trying to shut this case down and just, okay, done, over with. This man, he hanged himself. That's it. No, the parents deserve transparency, and I'm glad I got an attorney. I'm glad I got Crump, even though I don't really agree with half the things that he has said in the past. But you know what? At least they have someone backing the parents up, and they know their rights. They know their rights, and they're going to get answers because they deserve answers. They demand answer, and they're going to get to the bottom of the truth. Because, like I said, this doesn't seem right. This seems suspect, cover up, a lot of red flags, a lot of holes. And I hope and pray that the family get justice for their son, and they definitely get answers because the parents deserve answers. And my heart goes out to the Reed's family. You know, no one should hear a news that your son or daughter just passed and dead, and then they're not giving any answers about what happened to your child, which is very frustrating, and you can and it can be very painful, you know, because you're dealing with grief, you're dealing with all this stuff, and then you know your son, one of your child is gone and never coming back. It can be a lot, and all they're asking for is transparency, honesty, and not cover it up. Tell the truth. Tell the truth what really happened. The parents deserve that. The friends deserve it. And the whole world deserves it too. And we should be talking about this more. And this should not go away. You know, this story should not go away. And it should be talked about in mainstream media. You know, like every other incident that's been happening in this month. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. And then, like I said, we have to love one another and be kind and have that empathy and that passion for everyone, because everyone has lost a loved one, and it should be talked about. It should not be like dismissed at all. So that's all I have to say about that. Oh, I forgot to say happy Friday, you guys. I just wanted to start this up before I even started this topic. But again, my heart and goes out to the Reeds. My condolences for them losing their son. And again, I pray and hope that they will get justice. And I will follow up more about this case once I get more information about it. But that's all I have so far, you guys. And I will keep you up posted. Have a great weekend, and I will see you guys Monday.